Welcome back to another episode of Rock Boys Football. Kirby Smart, the Georgia Bulldogs, landing another commitment in the 2025 cycle, coming from four-star safety Rashad Johnson from the state of Florida. Now, when you talk about Rashad Johnson, it's a very similar conversation that we've had with this Georgia program the last couple of weeks as we've broken down commitments. Yes, Georgia is going to get good football players to come to Athens. But I think more importantly, and what has led Georgia to all this success the last couple of years is not only good football players coming to Athens, Georgia, but more importantly, you're getting guys that fit what Georgia wants to do on both sides of the football. You look at what Kirby Smart wants in the defensive backfield for this Georgia defense, long, physical defensive backs that can run. You look at Rashad Johnson, 6'2", 200 pounds, extremely long arms, but also a guy that runs an 11-second in the 100-meter dash. I mean, he is checking every single box that Georgia wants in their defensive backs. And with Rashad Johnson, you get some big-time position versatility. I mean, he can operate as a box safety. He can operate in that star position. He can play that free safety with that 11-second, 100-meter dash, a guy that can cover a lot of ground playing as a single or two high safety. So you're getting versatility. You're getting some big-time physical traits. That's exactly what Georgia wants from these high school kids joining this defensive back room, fired up to get into the film. Before we do, and as always, just want to say thank you to you guys, to the Georgia fans. Been a blast breaking down these commitments. You guys continue to show a ton of support. I can't thank you guys enough. All the Go Dogs in the comment section that you guys have been throwing in there, that stuff means the world. If y'all do enjoy the content, consider subscribing to the channel. And without further ado, let's get into Rashad Johnson. I think you got to first start with just the physical traits that Rashad Johnson brings to this Georgia defense. 6'2", 200 pounds. He is extremely long in the arms. Now, I don't have the official arm measurement, but it looks like it could be pushing 33 inches. And why is that so important? You look at Rashad Johnson, what he might be doing. One, just occupying a lot of different spacing, throwing windows with those long limbs. But I think more importantly, when you're dealing with different kind of pass catchers, especially at that star position, whether it's a jumbo tight end that split out wide, and being able to get hands on bigger pass catchers, jam them at the line of scrimmage, all of those things that Rashad Johnson can do. Now, on top of the really, really impressive frame and size, he runs an 11-second 100-meter dash. And so you're getting the long speed as well. You look at all the dynamic pass catchers in the SEC, same thing we talked about with Shamari Earls. You need really dynamic defensive backs that can run with these big, fast wide receivers that you're going to see in the SEC. Rashad Johnson certainly can do that. And you get into the film, and again, you kind of see just the position versatility that Rashad Johnson gives you. I mean, he can come in and kind of play that free safety role. He can play the box safety. He can play the star position. You kind of fire up the film. One, really good instincts. And when he's asked to trigger downhill, I mean, he isn't playing the games, right? You talk about commanding the middle of the field. If you're going to play that safety spot, you have to be able to close down on throwing windows at a high level. Rashad Johnson just commands the middle of the field at such a high level. You continue to work through the film. You continue to see a lot of good stuff, right? One, let's talk about some instincts. Let's talk about some football IQ, right? We're breaking off, tip ball. We're going to be in the right spot at the right time to make the play. Rashad Johnson also gets it done on the offensive side of the football. You get a feel of just the caliber of athlete and some of the ball skills. And we talk about this all the time. We love to see our defensive backs be two-way players at the high school level. You look at a lot of defensive backs that only play on the defensive side of the football at high school. They don't have good ball skills. Rashad Johnson, with the extensive wide receiver and at times tight end experience at the high school level, he does have the ball skills that you're looking for. You look against here at Coco. I mean, this is a very good quarterback in Brady Hart. Johnson, he's just triggering downhill, making a lot of different plays. That's probably what I like most about him, is kind of the trigger downhill, the ability to take away the middle of the field and a lot of those throwing windows over the middle of the field, because when he wants to click and close, there's not many better defensive backs in the country than Rashad Johnson when it comes to getting downhill and breaking on the football. You see him play tight end here again. This is a kid that's 6'2", 200 pounds. He has a nice frame, can play a little inline tight end, getting loose on a little corner route. You see the ball skills. You see the long speed. This is a guy that at 6'2", 200 pounds can be one of the faster players on the football field as well. Not a lot of things that Rashad Johnson can't do. And again, just so many different ways that he can impact the football game on the defensive side of the football. You're going to see him hold up in man coverage here, get those long arms on the opposing wide receiver, make a play on the football. This is a guy that can do a lot of different things, but I think most importantly, match up with a lot of different pass catchers. You look at Georgia in this 2025 class, specifically in the defensive back room. I mean, Shamari Earls, 6'2", up to 200 pounds, runs an 11.7 in the 100-meter dash. You continue to scroll down and say, we're filling it up. Todd Robinson, this is a guy that plays a lot of wildcat quarterback and running back at the high school level. Going to make that transition to the defensive backfield. I think he's going to play that star position for Georgia. You continue to scroll down. Let's talk about Jalen Morgan and Rashad Johnson, two guys that kind of similar frames that can do a lot of the same stuff. You're just kind of filling up the defensive backfield with a lot of versatility and a lot of high-quality athletes. And you've seen Kirby Smart do this time and time again. Bet on the physical traits, bet on the athlete, and develop the football player. That's what Georgia's done for the last couple of years. They've obviously had a lot of success with it. Another fascinating commitment for the Bulldogs. We'll close it out there. Hopefully you guys had a phenomenal Sunday night. For the Georgia fans, it gets a little better. Appreciate you guys rocking with it. We'll talk to y'all later. Peace.